I think we are live. All right, we got the green light. We got the green light. Everything looks like it's working. Audio is working. Check, check. Hello. I almost screwed up the first line. I did screw up the first line. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Naked Famous Denim Day. It is Friday evening for many of you. 7 p.m. Eastern is when we go live. It is Saturday morning for us here in Yokohama. Yokohama, Japan. I'm combining words, making a new language. We're here. It's morning. I haven't been up that long, but and I haven't had my coffee yet. I have a coffee in a cup, but I haven't taken a sip yet. So here we go. Let's take the first sip. Hopefully this will wake me up and I'll stop mumbling. Hopefully. All right, everybody. Welcome to Naked Famous Denim Day. Welcome to our weekly live stream where the Raw Denim community gets together. We get to talk about denim. We get to talk about Naked Famous Denim stuff, what's going on. We get to ramble on a little bit. We've got some snack reviews, a good one today. So you definitely want to wait to the end of the video because we do snack review at the end. We've got a great group of people here in the chat. We're going to answer your questions live. You name it, we're going to have a lot of fun. So before you do anything, let's start you guys off with a test. Hit the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do it. I fixed something. So now that a little alert, it comes back. Turns out it wasn't on for a while.
Oh, when you subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, why doesn't anyone subscribe during the live stream? Turns out the little alert notification wasn't working. So I fixed that. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe now. And a little thing is going to appear in a corner here. We'll have a little celebration for you. So there you go. That's happening. Subscribe now, like, share, all that stuff. Tell a friend. Tell your sister. Tell your mother. Tell your wife. Tell your brother. Tell everyone. Tell your enemies about the Naked Famous Denim live stream and that they should watch. Because what else are you going to do on a Friday evening other than talk about pants?
Yeah, nothing. I mean, it's the best thing you can do.
It's what I do every Friday evening. We have release dates usually on Friday on Tate and Yoko.
Yeah, Friday evening is work.
Yeah, Friday evenings always work for us. Saturday mornings always work for us. We're always here. We're always here happy to talk about denim with you guys, and I'm glad that you guys are joining us each and every week. Now let's say hello to the chat. We've got a lot of familiar faces. We've got Carl in the house. Welcome, welcome. I'm late. I'm a little late today. I apologize. But thanks for hanging in there, and thanks for tuning in. Carl Morawski. Also, if you don't know, he's definitely the man to subscribe to. If you haven't subscribed to him, you should do it. Definitely do it. Great channel, boots, leather, rugged wear, you name it, talks about it. He's the king on YouTube for that type of stuff. That's my opinion. I think that's true. Also, another video that came out this week was Michael Iron Snail. If you're not following his journey to creating his raw denim jacket, Chapter 2 just dropped on his channel. It features myself and Risa. We're in there. So go ahead and watch that when you can. Great video. Michael's a great guy as well. We're making a lot of friends in YouTube land. It's kind of fun. I don't know. It's a small little community, but like when I talk to people, I feel like I already know many of them. I'm sure if you ever meet me, it will maybe feel the same. Like I've met YouTubers before, and it's like, oh, feel like you're a real person. I know you, but I don't know you. It's kind of
you don't know me.
Yeah, you don't know me. I know you. I know sometimes too much about you, but it's kind of neat. Anyways, I hear Japan is opening up pretty soon. Semi.
Did you hear that?
I kind of heard it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the news are. I just saw headlines. Japan's opening up, but maybe they're who knows. You know what? Scratch that. But if
Japan is easing the restrictions a little bit.
Yeah.
That's as far as I know.
Okay, so that's as far as I know. Hopefully you guys will make it out here and we'll go and grab pizza. Sebastian Pelje, hey Bahzad and Risa, checking in from Georgia, USA. Thanks for checking in. Let us know where you guys are checking in from. We're going to give you a shout out. The Raven, hello from SoCal. Hello, hello. Mike Knight, hello, pants people. Hello, Marcus Chung. Hello from Sweden. Lee H, hello from Sydney. Just received the Honda Selvedge from Tate and Yoko. All right. Great choice. That was a heavyweight 21-ounce denim.
That might have been the pair that we found and added recently.
Right.
There was a lot of like treasures
Yeah,
that
little-
was just sprinkled.
Yeah, a
throughout
few
this.
pieces of Dragon Ball from some Street Fighter stuff. I think we
Mhm.
found some Nightmare on Elm Street pieces. You know, the
Mhm.
thing is, like, we pull from the inventory to shoot like product shots and
Mhm.
like lifestyle imagery and things like that. And then sometimes those products don't make their way back to the shelves.
Mhm.
And they just sit in the office somewhere. And anyways, luckily, sometimes we find stuff.
Yeah. So that is a good advertisement for signing up for notification
Yeah.
on Tate Nyoko. If you're ever looking for something and it's been sold out for a long time, you know it's not gonna come back in stock in the proper like restock way. You want to sign up for a notification anyways, because
Yeah,
it just shows up.
when we're sold out, we're pretty sold out. But
Mhm.
sometimes a nugget appears.
Yeah.
So you want that notification. So yeah, I sent an email about that today on Tate and Yoko, just kind of reminding people that, the fall season's coming, and, we just released the Katetsu, we just released the red gradient core, and some sizes have already started to go, right? Certain sizes, sometimes the larger sizes like 40, 42, 44, those tend to go fast. 31, 32, those will go a little bit faster. I do carry more inventory in the middle sizes, but like
the bigger ones are like, it's
there's a handful of those.
Yeah.
But the mid sizes where it's like really the most popular, 31, 32, 33, 34, when I do the buying for the shop, I load up. I make sure we have a lot. And when I see a 31 gone or 33 gone, 32 gone, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Things are moving here, and especially if, it's within the first 1 or 2 weeks of that, it's like, okay, this may not last the season. So I know some people, you have your eye on something and you want it, of course, but don't wait too long, right? Once we get into October, November, things will really start to, diminish. Even with our core product, like online, it looks like we have goods, like, but in the back end, there's like 2 or 3 or 1 unit left. Like there's a lot of core goods in our like main warehouse where we do where we ship for wholesale, where we're just out. We're completely out. There's like the last piece here and there on Tate and Yoko, and we've been kind of riding on fumes for a while because I make sure to load up as much as possible for like our core product, because I know it, like lately in the last 2 years, year and a half, especially the last year and a half, it's been difficult to get replenishments. Shipping is taking longer, production is taking longer, everything's taking longer. So we'll get something in our main warehouse for wholesale. Like we might get like 800 pairs of a style, 1,000 pairs, and within a week and a half, it's gone from wholesale, because all of our retail partners, they snatch up all that inventory as much as they can,
because they've been waiting for them too. So yeah, it's kind of like a hard time right now, but I think we'll get back in track and we'll be fully stocked soon.
Yeah. But if there's something you see, if you're looking for Christmas presents or things like that, don't hesitate for too long, because it can get a little bit hard to find things. We do also, like, if it's not on Tate and Yoko, you can always support our retail partners. We do have the blog post on nakedandfamousdenim.com. I list out all the retailers with who carry that particular item, and I note it out by fit. So it might be a Denali clothing in Winnipeg that might carry an Easy Guy, or a Blue Owl in Seattle. They might have a weird guy in a denim jacket. So anyways, so on and so forth. Check out. There's a lot of ways to look for stuff, but as we get into the season more, as the temperatures start to drop, the leaves start to change color, things become a little bit more difficult to find. So just keep that in mind, and then also sign up for that notification in case you can't find something, because you never know with exchanges. People send, they bought the wrong size, they send it back, or if we find something in the warehouse, it goes up online.
Yeah.
So.
But with core, like, I know it's like we don't have a retailer list of specific items, so it's hard. But like you can just reach out to the people on our stockist list, because a lot of the times they're happy to help you find something.
That's true. That is very true. All right. Let's check in the chat again. We've got Ray Tattooed Boy. Yo. Ray's in the house. for those who don't know, Ray designed our new pocket, a couple of new pocket flashers for fall 22. So you'll notice a different style on those ones. And he designed our new Brute leather patch, which we are going to launch the leather patch. So for those who don't know, a couple of weeks ago on the live stream, we talked about our new leather patch customization service. Now, I don't have those leather patches here, but
You can go back to our last live stream in Montreal.
Yeah, which was episode. I don't even remember. Was it the 5th? I think it was the 5th.
Yeah.
We show off the new leather patches that we're going to offer for customization. So you could buy any pair of Naked Famous Denim jeans, and we can change the patch to 3 different designs. We've got our classic Tragic Blonde, the one that you know and love already, and we're going to have something like 20 different leather options. Everything from, basic browns and blacks and things like that to like luxury items like shell cordovan and buffalo, and we've got eel skin. So a lot of cool leather options there. Then we have our new Leathercraft patch, which is a minimal designed patch with just the Naked Famous Denim text logo in the bottom corner. We're going to have, I think, 4 leather patch options there. And then we're going to have a new design, a new take on the Tragic Blonde called the Brute. And it's going to be like a muscly dude with a cigar in his mouth, and he's blowing smoke to, have with the Naked Famous Denim text bubble. So it looks pretty cool. On Monday, I'm going to have a email blast and a blog post showing off all that stuff. So look out for that. If you don't want to wait till Monday, go back to that August 5th live stream. We show off the leather patches there. And Ray designed the Brute patch, and I think he did a fantastic job. I think you guys are going to like it. So this kind of has like 80s action hero kind of vibes to it.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. It's pretty cool. All right. Venomous Teddy, will that same patch on the red gradient be one of the options? Oh, the red pull-up leather? I don't believe it's one of the options for the customization, but we will add more and more leather options to that.
Yeah.
So we'll play it by ear. I know we just got a new vegan leather option made of like apple. It's made of actual apples. So that's not on that list yet, but I'm going to get it on that list. So we'll have more vegan leather options too for those people who want something different. BD, hello, Bahzad and Risa. Have you often educated about how denim ounce is measured? You say on average how many yards make a jean and or jean jacket. Yeah, we could talk about that. I'm sure we've talked about it before. We can certainly talk about it right now. So not a lot of times, well, sometimes you never even know what weight a denim fabric is because they don't talk about it. But I feel like in the raw denim world, we're much more vocal about the weight of the fabric. And you'll often see, 11 ounces, 12 ounces, 14.5 ounces. Ounces, what does that mean? Ounces of what? So denim is measured in ounces per square yard. So that's a equivalent measurement across any fabric because you're taking 1 square yard of it, and you're weighing that. So if it says 11 ounces, it's 11 ounces per an individual square yard. And the reason why it's square yards, which is interesting, and ounces per square yard, and not meters per, grams per meter squared, which is, we're Canadian and we use the metric system, although I could debate that also.
Yeah.
I could certainly debate that. Not as metric as we...
Yeah.
For fellow Canadians, you'll often hear about how we're so much smarter than the Americans because we're on the metric system. Yeah, a lot of people rag on America for like not being on the metric system, and I'm like, Canada.
That is a problem, though.
Right.
I mean, it's like just get on with it. The rest of the world have.
Well, they have and they haven't because Canada certainly hasn't.
Right. That's true.
So,
half-assing it.
Yeah, they're very half-assing it. But it's funny because in Japan, we'll say, hey, why are we why are we measuring in ounces per square yard? Shouldn't it be grams per meter squared? Because for at the very least, we use centimeters and meters and stuff like that. And we don't use ounces in Canada for not really. Anyways, and they're like, yeah, the reason why even we do it in Japan, which is very much on the metric system, is because it's American. Like denim is American, so that's just a carry over from it being an American fabric. You know,
And it's like at this point you can't be like, this is whatever GSM denim, because nobody has that. Like everybody has an idea of what 12-ounce denim
Yeah.
is like, or everybody who's in denim, and you can't just change the units,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, that's very confusing. So
Yeah.
there's no turning back.
There's no turning back. Like you could get it like a grams per meter square like measurement, or you get a GSM measurement. Like those things are all definitely doable.
Yeah.
But like it just doesn't click when
Right.
you're thinking about denim weight.
So another point is that what's interesting is that when you are measuring how many ounce a denim fabric is, you're not literally cutting square yard of the fabric, because a lot of the time Selvedge denim is not even like a yard, yard wide.
Right.
So like what they do is like you take like a little small.
It's basically like a little circle. So there's something like there are fabric scales and fabric cutters for this thing. And a fabric cutter is kind of we have to buy one. We have them in the office, but it's like this giant weighted, just like this thick metal thing with a top that kind of screws down like a lid. You press it down on the fabric and it cuts a perfect circle. And then the scale is also designed to weigh that piece of cloth, and then it'll give you every kind of calculation. If you want grams per meter squared, it'll give it to you, right? If you want the GSM, it'll give it to you. If you want the ounces per square yard, it'll give that to you. So nobody actually cuts a square yard of the fabric anymore. Maybe at some point they were doing that, but these fabric scales and cutters and things like that it's basically how they do that in the modern world. Now, as far as yield goes, it certainly depends on the width of the fabric. So the wider the fabric, the better the yield. Most Selvedge jeans come in at about like a meter wide for the roll of fabric. A wide width roll is probably about 2 meters. So on a wider width roll, to make a pair of jeans, the yield is like 1.5. 1.5 meters makes a pair of jeans. Whereas on a Selvedge roll, you're looking at like 2.4, 2.5.
It depends. It really does depend on what you're making too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like, a typical pair of jeans.
Yeah.
Would be about 2.5.
Yeah. But like it depends, because like not every Selvedge roll is even a meter wide. Sometimes they're like a little bit smaller, sometimes a little bit bigger.
And also like, if it's a fabric shrinks, then you have to add so much to the cutting, so like the yield gets worse. Like for instance, like if it's an unsubfrized jean or denim, and it's already narrow, you need way more because it's going to shrink a lot.
You have to account for that.
Yeah.
So we have different patterns for unsanforized fabrics to account for shrinkage, and because like there will be also shrinkage just from the cutting line, because you're steaming and pressing the jeans all the time. That steam and heat will make that fabric shrink. So there's all kinds of things that you need to consider. So I hope that answers your question. And if you have any questions about that, let us know. Lord Stanley 1893 writes, I'm involved with U.S. imports, and U.S. Customs uses metric. Some items are classified by grams per meter squared.
Great.
Yeah.
Because customs, you're dealing with things coming
from all over the world. Yeah. It's it is interesting. It's like, again, I could debate the American metric system and that they are more metric than we believe they are. And you know why? Because even all their imperial measurements are based on metric. They have a metric base.
Nowadays.
Yeah. Like a foot isn't actually something. There is no foot. Like there's no, you know what I mean? There is no foot. How long is a yard? Like they have like the metric, calculation for all that.
To be fair, the foot is like, to me, it's like a little helpful because you can kind of picture how big things are.
Yeah.
Based off of how big people's feet are.
Right. Generally speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a girl foot? Is it a boy foot?
It's definitely a man foot. It's a big foot.
Yeah.
I think it's like 30 centimeters.
Yeah. Whose foot are we talking about here? All right. Mike Knight asked a very important question. How do you buy weed in Canada? You can't buy an ounce? I don't know.
Grams.
All right.
I think you can. I don't know. It depends. I mean,
I-
until recently it was all, black market.
Yeah.
So I think
In Canada, you can go to a store and buy it, a government store.
Mhm.
I wonder, are they doing it in ounces, like which would be
think
common
it's
in
grams.
the weed community, or would they sell it in?
I think it's grams.
Huh.
Pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe they have both.
Maybe they have both. Maybe they have
Yeah.
both. That would be interesting to know. You know what would be
But-
interesting to know is that in the Quebec stores, because they certainly won't have any English on there, if they would have the ounces included, like they'll have the grams and the ounces on the labeling, just so people are aware. But they probably wouldn't have the English because they're like, forget that. Perhaps.
I don't know.
Not sure. That's interesting. I've never been into a Quebec weed store. I'm not okay. BD, I'm not going to go with ounces anymore. I'm going to say these bad boys are 2.5 yards. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah,
because it's not.
Again,
It depends on the size.
Yeah.
It depends on the width of the fabric. So,
and even if it's salvage, doesn't mean that it's the same yield always. 2.5, it's just like an average.
Yeah. And that's just the yield of fabric. It has nothing to do with the weight of the fabric.
Yeah.
So like a 32-ounce denim, presumably, if the width is about 30, like 1 meter.
And you're also not using every single part of the fabric.
That's true. There's offcuts.
Cutting wastage.
So yeah, not technically, not.
No, you should stick with the ounce.
Ounces is more correct than the yardage. More accurate. When will the shirt and kimono be available? Especially mid-century PK. I really want to know how it looks like. That's Torping Gentry.
The pictures are there.
Yeah, the pictures are on the website already. So if you go to tateanyoko.com or nakedfamousdenim.nyc.com, there is a fall winter 2022 collection that you can click on. You can look through all the photos. They're there. And we're going to have a lot of stuff coming in September.
Majority of shirts, presumably, is coming in September.
So you want to watch out for that. Of course, hit that notify me when available button. It's not just for if something's sold out. If something hasn't come in yet,
right? Yeah,
you can use that notification email thing that we have, and it'll let you know when it comes out. Because for jeans, we kind of let you know, hey, these are going to release on Friday. Always Fridays at 11 a.m. For shirts and other things, sometimes we just put those out.
Yeah.
So
slide it in.
Yeah.
So you might not even notice.
Right.
And you don't want to come back and check every day.
Yeah.
Another thing though is that if you are waiting for a jeans that you think might be like not it sell out really quickly or something like that, then you want to be on the website at 11. Don't wait till you get an email, because that notification emails they just work in a certain way that it doesn't all go at the same time. It goes in batches, so don't wait for that.
Right. Because like I send out like the emails that come through Tate and Yoko, Naked Famous Denim, NMC, those go to at 11 a.m. and we release at 11 a.m. But because there's like the email list is big, it doesn't Risa said, it doesn't go out all in the same. You might get it at 11:05, right? And depending on where you are, it'll vary a little bit. So if you're very keen on getting something, be there at 10:55. Yeah. And generally speaking, on 11, the website updates. There's just a few like technical things on the back end that like maybe it'll be 11:02, 11:03.
Yeah.
If there's a real problem, it might be a little bit later. It's happened before, but
yeah, it's never really on the dot. I try my best, but like it's out of my control sometimes.
Iwallen says the only reason the U.S. didn't switch to metric back in the day was that the ship carrying the instruments was sunken by pirates. I don't know about that. I remember as a child knowing that in the 70s, America tried to go metric. I just remember like all my teachers talking about like that as a failure. So I think at some point they really, if anybody's who grew up or went to school in the 70s, you're in the chat. Let us know. Was that a big push? I think it was a big push in the 70s.
Interesting.
I was not alive then, but I remember.
I wonder. I guess it's hard. I
It's-
would imagine
it's hard to
like, in
change,
the
you know-
70s. Like if it happened like 100 years ago, maybe it was easier. But
Yeah.
like
I mean, changing the opinion or minds of 100 or several hundred million people, not easy. Not
Yeah.
easy.
so it's not an opinion, really.
Well, it's just a mindset.
Yeah.
You know.
What I would like to know.
But like
so-
even older Canadians, they use Fahrenheit still, because we used to.
Really?
Yeah, because Canada went through the same transition of imperial to metric.
When did it happen?
I think around the same time. Like some older Canadians, they still refer to the temperature in Fahrenheit, and yeah.
Speaking of this unit, I've always wondered, and I know we have some like British people in here. Stones.
Yeah.
Do you use stones for everything or just your weight? And why is stones so like a large unit? Like one stone, like a person would weigh like 5-6 stones.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like you can really tell the difference between like, oh, I gained some pounds, like if I gain, 2 pounds, I wouldn't change in stone size.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I wouldn't gain a stone.
Right.
Like,
That is true. Like if you're 4 stone versus 5 stone, that's a big difference.
yeah, and
Right.
I know some people use like half and whatever, but it's still a very big variance.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why you're using it.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the stone
Yeah,
methodology.
It's bizarre.
Okay.
Okay.
Naked and metric
Completely.
denim. Yeah. Good. We're talking about metric units and units of measure here. It's good stuff to know. It's important. I didn't learn it in school. I learned it in denim. Okay. Yap Ko Bang writes. Said that weird. Anyways. Where are the true guys?
Good question.
Good question. Coming.
Where are they?
I keep asking about this myself. Coming. Hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, I know we've been saying that for a long time.
Sorry if we have been saying it for a long time. As soon as I have an update, believe me, you guys are gonna have the update. Mike Knight writes, "Is there TV channels in English in Japan?" Probably. I don't know. I don't have cable, so I don't watch.
Not in the main like 12. My TV knowledge of Japan ended like when I was like 17. So I
Right.
don't know.
But
I am
in the
sure
hotels
with the BS and stuff like BSCS, like I think there's one of those channels has to be. In
they don't know
English.
what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
So
either.
in Japan, from my understanding, and maybe somebody out here can know, they have like 3 different kinds of signals.
yeah. So the main one is the old school one, like whatever.
But you have to like,
one.
there's a button on your remote that you have to change between the signals. Like in North America, if you have like 5,000 channels, you're not changing a button on your remote that says go to like, signal high definition or signal whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all just, you click the button and it goes. But here you have 3 different signals on your remote control, and I don't know what any of them means.
I think that the main one, the one that we don't call anything, is it's what we call like land like way.
Land wave?
It's like it's just a traditional TV signals that you connect to something and then it just
Is it over the air also?
it's over the air. It's over
Okay.
the air. But it's like you don't have to have anything special like a dish to
Mhm.
receive it.
Okay.
BS, I don't know what CS is. I think it's the same. BSCS, I think, is the satellite thing. So you need like something to receive it. What like and not necessarily a dish, but like it's like a different waves that's coming from far away from the space, basically.
Okay.
Satellite.
I have no idea.
I think that's
Yeah.
that's what it is.
But there are several. Like if you ever go to Japan, you'll end up in a Japanese hotel at some point, and you'll be flipping channels, and then on your remote there will be BS, CS, and I forget the other one. And like when you click the other button, there's a whole different set of channels here.
Yeah.
And
The regular one, it's only like 10 channels. I think it goes up to 12, but like 2 and 4 is not a channel. So like it's
Oh.
like 10 channels.
Okay.
That's what I grew up with. And then BSCS adds like so much more. And I think one of the BS channel is always English.
Yeah, there might be an English channel, and then I've seen like the international, like there's CNN Japan or something like that. Right. So like
those might be like cable. Like
yeah,
extra
maybe you have to
channels.
pay for those. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're it's a little bit different the way the TV works here. But I don't really know how it all works. I don't subscribe to TV. Brian Truhan writes, any vests for fall winter 2022? We don't have any vests, but we can turn any denim jacket into a vest. We can do that for free, no charge. We should do like we could do a hemming, obviously, but if you want to turn anything into a vest, like if you want to turn any pairs of jeans into shorts, that's just hemming. For jean jackets, we can just take off the sleeves for you, no problem. We can make anything a vest.
Yeah, we should do a video on that.
We should do a promo that we can do that for you. So there are your options there. Yeah, we don't do a lot of vests.
Yeah. For that reason, I think it's like if you want vests, you can make it.
Yeah, you really can. Okay. Decibels. That's why there weren't Japanese TV channels when I visited. I didn't realize. Yeah, you were on the wrong signal, and you just thought there was.
But it's not like it's not like all English. It's probably like one or two English.
Invis Ian's Black Groovy Guy updates. Same update as True Guy.
That shouldn't be that difficult.
No, I just think it keeps getting pushed back because
it's not a priority.
It's really not a priority in the warehouse right now in the factory. So I think I just keep getting bumped. I'm gonna double check on that after this. Literally yesterday I was like giving them hell about True Guy. I mean, like, where is the sample? I need it. They want it. The people want it. So I'll touch base with you guys on that soon. Johnny Crumhorn, Raw Denim Battle Vest. Yeah, I can see that happening. It's like for like you put all the patches and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like for like a punk concert, punk shows and things like that. That really seems to only be part of like the hardcore punk community, battle vests and things like that.
Is it?
Yeah, you see a lot of like hip hop and streetwear like pulling from like punk and hardcore and rock and roll. And I'm like, I haven't seen them wearing battle vests a lot. They'll wear like the Metallica t-shirt,
That's true.
or the Slipknot t-shirt, but there's not a lot of like battle vests or like
there's not a lot of vests in general these days. Like I just don't see it.
I just see. I mean, if you're in Montreal, you see it because there's still like a pretty strong like punk hardcore like scene, and they're around. But yeah, that's interesting. That's just appeared in my mind that aspect of it hasn't translated over into the hip hop world. I think when they do, it'll be pretty cool. They'll have their own take on it.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I think you know what somebody mentioned to me that in Stranger Things, the new one, which I haven't watched since like half of season 2, where I was kind of like,
I didn't even watch half.
Like Metallica, there's some Metallica references, and like apparently there's a ton of new Metallica fans, which I'm happy for. I
read like an article on that, like the clothing, like a fashion of Stranger Things. It's like becoming like a thing.
Very popular again.
It's very good.
Yeah, I feel like nobody cared about season 3.
Somebody told me that season 2 was the worst one, and that's probably why we dropped out. And then it got better, and then like now it's the like height of it. Apparently.
Ray Tattooed Boy. What patches would be on my battle vest? Avril Lavigne. Just be a tribute to Avril. That would be mine.
That's funny.
Napanee, Ontario. I'm telling you. Bokajan, you mentioned briefly on growing out of clothes a few months ago, and I'm feeling that right now. Turning 30 soon, and my waist is going from waist 27 to 28 and a half. What do you do with your outgrown clothes?
Give out.
Yeah, I've given a lot out. I mean, my brother's still a pretty slim guy, so he I mean, he's gotten almost all of my button-up shirts that could fit him. I still have boxes of button-up shirts here. And
well, there's some people who would take that here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime I have a friend or someone that I know who's like my old size, and they come over to my house and says, "Hey, do you want some shirts?"
It's like a weird, like.
Yeah. And they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Here." And then I pull out this giant box of shirts, and they're like, "Oh,
take
whatever you want." So, you know, a lot of it has to get given away. Sure, if you can sell it, then, you know, why not sell it if it's good stuff? I'm sure you can get a couple of bucks back for it. But, like, that's one thing, you know, that I've learned through my own experience of just owning a lot of clothes, being in the fashion industry for a long time. You know, where I did my most acquiring was in my slimmer days, right?
Because you were younger.
I was younger.
And irresponsible with your purchases.
Yeah. I was irresponsible with my purchases. I also worked and I got, you know, I got a lot of stuff through work. So, you know, I have like, in my mom's house, there's probably like 40 or 50, maybe 60 pairs of diesel jeans, like all size 28. Like there's just, I have so many jeans. You don't understand.
Sell them here, I think.
Yeah, I guess. I'd have to bring them and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, aside from your brother, like we can't really give out those things.
Yeah,
nobody's that small.
There's that's because we're all getting older, you know.
Yeah.
You know, everybody I know is getting. Everyone used to be my size that I knew.
We have to find young friends.
So the warning I'll give if you're new into raw denim, or you know, young and just getting into fashion is, be a little bit careful with your purchases, especially if you're if you're following us now, maybe you have a little bit more of a buy it for life mentality. You know, you're into buying products that are long lasting, made with you know, a certain amount of care. And I know that the tendency for raw denim people, once you get in, is to like start collecting a lot, which is, hey, you know what, you're fueling our business. But I also don't want you to end up with 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 pairs that you're not going to be able to wear because you outgrew them, right? So just, you know, buy the jeans when you need them. You know, if you buy an indigo and a black pair and you're going to wear them all the time, great. And you wore them for a couple of years, you know, you gained weight, you know, they don't fit anymore. Fine. That's natural progression, right? But if you buy 15 pairs and you have them all stacked up and you think, "Oh, I'm going to wear these for the rest of my life," chances are you're going to gain weight in life. That's most of us. So be careful, right? Because that might be a stack of jeans that's, you know, could have been funding jeans that you could buy today that will fit you. So be a little careful there. Yeah, some of my stuff, I mean, I'm also in the industry, so having garments that are old or worn or anything, sometimes it's just reference, right? Like I have it because there might be a detail on that piece of clothing that I like, so I want to keep it in case it's going to be useful to me in some way at some point. So we own a lot of things, just a lot, you know. We pick up jean jackets at the thrift store all the time. Like we pick up all kinds of stuff, and it's not always for me to wear, but I'm in a different situation. You know, if you like clothes and you like, you know, details, sure, that's another way to look at it. But as for wardrobe building, just be a little bit careful in your younger days, because chances are, you know, if you bought too much that you don't use, you end up certainly not being able to use it, and it's not by choice anymore. So yeah.
But sometimes you just have to buy things that you know you're gonna wear like twice, but you have to have it because that makes you happy.
Yeah.
And then nowadays the good thing is that you can like easily sell it. Like if it's of a value, like you don't have to give it to Goodwill. You can, you know, sell it on eBay or Poshmark or like Grailed or whatever. Like those things are readily available.
Yeah, it's not always a total loss, right? You know, even when you're giving away to you know, charity and things like that. It's not a loss either. Someone else is going to benefit from that, and so there's a kind gesture that you're making there. So, so long as you're not throwing it in the trash, try to make use of it. So yeah. BD writes, Metallica was all for it. They said fan for 40 years or 40 minutes. Just be happy they found the music. Saw them last week for the first time. They ruled. That's awesome. I've seen them a few times live, and yeah, I was in high school days. I was I mean, I still am a Metallica fan. I mean, you never really lose it, but like the amount of Metallica that I listened to in those days, and
very huge.
yeah, one of my friends was just like, I worked at a stereo store, and I didn't know much about anything. I didn't know much about music. I didn't know much about nothing. And one of my buddies listened to this, and he gives me like a CD, and I'm like, this is amazing. And after that, I just had all the CDs, and I went nuts. Went to the concert. I remember being terrified going to my first Metallica concert, because I was just this little kid from the suburb. I didn't know nothing about nothing, and I'm watching like Metallica. I had some Metallica concert like DVDs, and I'm watching like people get like wrecked in the pit, and just like and like riots, and I'm like, this is gonna be dangerous. And anyways, I survived.
Like when I was younger, I would like go to like these like little, not like Metallica level, but like little like punk rock concerts and stuff. And then I loved like being in the the action area. And then I just remember thinking, it's like, this is basically just every morning, like on a train.
Right.
Like it's just like it's not that weird to me.
Right. That's true. Getting on a train in Tokyo every morning is like being in a Metallica mosh pit. Mike Knight, I went to 26 Metallica shows in 2018, 2019. They're still my favorite band. 26, that's incredible.
In those 2 years.
That's unbelievable. Cathedral Ring, Bahzad was at the GNR Metallica show where the riot broke out. No riots at any Metallica shows I went to, luckily. Cathedral Ring, this is true, but you find yourself breaking in multiple pairs, and it's like an everyday battle. I guess that's in reference to owning a lot. Like if you own a lot, I guess the battle is like, which pair do I wear today? So long as you're wearing them and you get some use out of them, again, the use is very subjective. I mean, some people, the use of the jean is owning the jean and admiring. If you're a collector, there's a different use to you than someone who's just wardrobe building and being more utilitarian with their wardrobe choices. I'm not utilitarian when it comes to clothing. I own a lot of clothing. I wear very little of my clothing. I've been wearing mostly the same jeans for the last 4 months. So shoes, I wear 90% of my time. I wear sandals. But yeah, it depends on who you are, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. What's going on here? Riley O'Brien, sorry if you answered already, but do you guys have any kind of ETA for the Blue Comfort?
It would
in September.
Yeah. I think so. It's one of the sooner ones.
Yeah. The next batches of releases are gonna be Blue Smoke, Easy Guy Red Gradient Core is coming soon.
Maybe.
Yeah, Scratch-n-Sniff should be soon. I know that Elephant is going to be in October. There's going to be 2 batches of Elephant 11. So one's going to be in like October, and then the other one's going to be in November. So just the way that the production of the fabric was coming in, we separate it into 2 batches so we can get most of it out early, and then there's going to be a little restock at the end in November. Venomous Teddy writes, Risa seems to be very good at wearing and not collecting.
I wouldn't say
our combined closet is insane.
I have a lot of things. But I also hold on to things like I held on to like a couple of like shirts that you were really done with. Like
Yeah.
you didn't want to give it to anybody because they had like a
Yeah,
dirt
they're
or
just worn
whatever.
out.
Yeah, I hold on to it thinking that I would use it for my like sewing
Mm-hmm.
project at some point, and I never do.
Yeah, we have
So
a
much
lot of fabric.
Yeah.
Like just fabric scraps and things like that. We hold
Yeah.
on to a lot. And it's like,
I'm a fabric hoarder.
Yeah.
100%.
it's interesting because when like this week we were doing fall winter 23 development, and I was just talking out fabrics to Risa. I'm like, okay, what if you think if we do something like this, something like that? And Risa's like, oh wait, hold on a second. And she'd go into her box. Here's some fabric options.
Yeah. So at least
like,
it's a little bit
yeah.
useful.
Yeah.
But it's like fraction of that whole thing is useful.
But she knows where it is. Like she knows what she has, and it's like if you need if you have an idea for something, she's like, okay, I got it. So that's why we have so much stuff, is so that we can, whatever idea that we want to come up with, if we're trying to convey it to somebody, like if it doesn't exist, it's kind of like, okay, well, we're going to take this fabric, and so you can see it like here, and then we're going to apply something like this, which is, and
this is a current reference. That like a lot of things would just come together with all these like things that we've seen in the past. So, yeah.
It's at some point, I say this probably every week, I've got to do our YouTube channel, just life of being fabric and denim people.
Yeah.
And we'll go through our collections and assortments of various things and why we have them. And
yeah,
I was a big magazine hoarder for a long time, and I
think a lot of people were. I had a lot of magazines too.
And I have issues of Vice magazine from like the 90s. Like I have so many. Like I will never get rid of them. And like I think Vice magazine birthed my like crazy. It didn't birth it, but like I remember reading it and being like, "What is this magazine?" Like I used to get it from I forget the name of the store, but like they always sold it at like those weird kind of like hippie stores and like skate shops and
anti-establishment.
Yeah, anti-establishment type stores. And I was like in the mid of high school, and I was a little bit of a weirdo, a lot of it of a weirdo. And I walked in one of these stores, free magazine, like people are like vomiting in it and like do's and don'ts, and I'm like, this magazine is crazy. So like I've always kept my like old collection of Vice, but yeah, I've barely gotten rid of a magazine since like being old enough to buy magazines and get magazines.
Really?
Yeah,
I got rid of an entire collection that was at my parents' house, like every single one of them. I do regret it a little bit because some of them I really should have kept, but just
every now and then it's just fun to go down memory lane and those things. I did have there's a magazine called Monocle magazine, and recently I've been selling off that collection because I had an almost complete collection, and it just took up way too much space, and I didn't reference them enough. And they would come out with these compilation books every now and then, and I just found that the compilation books were enough for me to have than owning the entire magazine collection.
And they often like repeat a lot of the
it's a lot of the same
and
issue.
it's a lot of reading too, which you don't do. Like we have, like you said, those books are like the best way to consume their contents.
Yeah. So, but nowadays I collect Popeye magazine.
Yeah.
And Casa Brutus. So one is an interior design magazine, and one is more of like a fashion lifestyle Japanese magazine. So we get those a lot. So yeah, I've just switched up which magazines I'm collecting, but I still consume a lot of magazines. Like
and the thing is, like those two kinds of magazines, it's entirely in Japanese, so it's not like you're reading; you're just looking at
pictures. Yeah.
So I guess
it's just another one of those things. It's just more reference material for me. I just always want to, for me, fashion, apparel, fabrics, clothing, all that stuff, style. I'm a sucker for that information.
Yeah, and a lot of the times when you're just living your life, like you don't get new ideas, like you don't meet new people all the time. Like it's a good intake of what's going on, because you just otherwise you wouldn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Really.
All right. Back to the chat. We've got a couple of questions here. One of them was about which denim jacket was the jacket to get. I forget who wrote it, but I guess the question was between the Katechu and the Elephant 11.
Mm.
That's a good question. We might have different answers. You answer first.
That you.
Same answer. I would say the Katechu. If you don't own a lot of denim jackets, the Katechu I think is a better option because it's a little bit lighter weight. Well, it's a lot lighter weight, 13 ounces instead of being 20 ounces. So you can wear that certainly a lot more year round. And that's probably the reason why I would recommend it.
Yeah, and I think that that item can like match with black base like things,
Mm.
or dark navy or brown, like a lot of like different color groups that are like it would be the base of your palette. It's a lot easier to match with things than, I think, it's not that the elephant is such a hard thing to match. It's just that it does have a lot of character, and even if it's just inside,
Yeah.
like you're seeing like a crazy Grandrelle, like it does like kind of, I don't know. It's a different, like it's obviously different. Whereas like
you
the
might
Katechu is just a little low key.
Right. Yeah, the Katechu is a lot more low key. It's still, even though it has that brown weft, that warmness, it's still a little bit more suitable for any wardrobe. Whereas the elephant might be a little bit more particular. Like you might have already an established kind of raw denim, outfit style. I also just tend not to suggest heavyweight stuff if it's your first.
Unless you're seeking out heavyweight.
Yeah.
Like if you want heavyweight jacket, obviously elephant is the way to go. If that's up your alley. But if you're not particular about the weight of the jacket, then you probably want to go with the more regular weight.
I just, for me, heavyweight is you've got a little bit of experience under the belt. This is not your first denim jacket, and I specifically want to fade a heavy boy. I want this armor. It's not going to be the most comfortable jacket you ever had, but I'm going to, bear through it. I'm going to wear it, and this is going to be crazy looking over time. Whereas the Katechu, I feel like that is a little bit more classic. You're going to wear that for the rest of your life. And, I mean, not to say that the elephant won't last the rest. That's definitely a jacket that's going to last forever. But it's a heavy boy. That's for sure. It's a heavy boy. Vitaly, any chance on a Sherpa line jacket for next winter season? For fall winter 23, I will make sure there's a Sherpa jacket again. We haven't done it in a while. I definitely want that back. It was a good jacket. We used to do the left hand twill Sherpa line one. We got to do that again. Hold on. I need to make a note.
Write it down. Write it down. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here's a good question. Cam Red asks, what is a good stretch denim over 13 ounce? What comes to mind right now is the blue comfort that is not available yet, but it will be in a few weeks.
Yeah.
That one's 14?
I think so. Yeah, it's
like
Hold on a second. Let's just go to the old Tate and Yoko and double check. Blue comfort stretch. Why can't I find it? There it is. 14 ounces. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, that's the one to go with.
Yeah, it feels heftier than 12 ounce or 11 ounce kind of thing. Like it's significantly heftier, and I'm guessing that's what you're looking for. And it is very stretchy. It is very comfortable without looking like it's comfortable.
Yeah, it feels like raw denim. It feels like a hefty pair of jeans, but it stretches like those lightweight, like super stretchy jeans. So it's really an incredible fabric. I'm very, very excited for that guy to come out soon. So watch out for that one. Blue Comfort. If you want a heavier weight stretch, that's the way to go. If you want a really heavyweight stretch, Elephant XS is out right now. And then next spring, we'll have the Elephant 11S stretch edition of the Grandrelle that will come out this fall, the Grandrelle Elephant, which we'll show off today. I brought the sample up, so we'll have a little preview of that. Okay. Philip Edgezak, I was hoping to give the girlfriend a Kasuri jacket for our anniversary at the end of September. I guess I'll have to figure out something else for the actual day. LOL.
Yeah, I don't think Kasuri would be released for then. And even if it is, like, I mean, you have to get it by the end of September.
It might be difficult for that timing. Sorry about that, but you can let her know your intentions.
Get her a picture of the jacket.
Yeah. Colo Yoke writes, can you compare the Naked and Famous fits versus other brands, relaxed tapered, slim straight, etc.? Sure. Like the Super Guy is a slim tapered leg. I would say that's
that's what they mean?
I think that's what they mean.
Okay.
You know, we on the website we used to label it like that. Like if you went under, anyway, there was a search feature. Like if you look for like slim tapered, it would just show all the Super Guys. Yeah. So slim taper, Super Guy, regular taper, weird guy, relaxed taper is easy guy, relaxed strong guy, relaxed straight is strong guy.
Straight is strong guy.
Groovy guy would be a slim boot cut or slim flare. It's a little bit more flare than boot cut. 70s style, vintage, and very vintage fit. High rise, slimmer on the leg.
The stacked guy is
like
it's like a slim drop crotch.
Yeah, it's a drop crotch slim, skinny. Yeah. Hope that answers the question. Shentel 88. Are the Wonder Looper hoodies dropping the same time as the tees? Possibly. So, holiday season, expect that. You'll find it on, of course, Tate and Yoko. You'll find it for at a number of our similar retail partners to Naked Famous, and we'll have the Wonder Looper website, wonderlooper.com. That'll be the place you can find everything. Tidy and Selvedge. I used to hold on to my Trans World skateboarding magazines, but during the last move, I just had too many to take with me. Recycle bin, they went. Too many shoe boxes full of them. During our last move, I was in the mood of like getting rid of so much stuff, and I feel like I did, but turns out I didn't get rid of that much stuff.
You mean the move from Canada to here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the problem with that was that we weren't like taking it with us. I mean, obviously we took a lot of stuff with us, but at the same time we had like a ocean shipment.
Yeah.
For like big stuff. So.
Oh right.
Not that we had like a lot of big stuff to bring, but we weren't going to be able to take everything with us or on the air shipments. So we
all the big stuff got shipped, and some of the little stuff we left, and we're like, oh, we'll just bring it with us. But we were also keeping our apartment in Montreal at the time.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff stayed there. So basically, our office right now in Montreal.
Yeah, because we got rid of the apartment during COVID, so
we had to move everything.
Yeah.
A lot of our stuff is just sitting in our Montreal office.
Yeah, but also another thing is that like when you're doing the ocean shipments, like the base fee is very, very high.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, if you're gonna like spend so much to ship this, the shipment, we might as well add this, we might as well add that. Like a lot of things happened like that, where like, I mean, we had like whole couple boxes of Monocle magazines, and as soon as we got here, we just started selling it.
Yeah.
Because just...
I was like, anyways, it's a space thing,
right.
But yeah, anyways, I have like stacks of Nintendo Power magazines still, Game Pro, electronic gaming, like all these like 90s gaming magazines. They're all in the office.
Oh.
Yeah. And, the thing about those old gaming magazines is that the paper that they were printed on was such crap. Like, now when you open them, it's all very delicate because, like, those pages are, like...
You need to wear gloves.
Yeah, they're going to fall apart. So I have to be careful with those. Vitaly, Naked Famous has a wax jean, which is kind of too edgy for me, but wax denim jacket would be quite wearable, it seems. I'm gonna go with no. Let me tell you,
Okay.
the wax that we have works because it looks like leather pants, and for those people who want that kind of look, that works. But indigo wax denim, we've done it a bunch of times, and it just never takes off the way that we feel the raw denim audience would react to it.
Mm-hmm.
We've done it a bunch of times. Indigo wax denim jackets. We had there was like a hunter green kind of wax one that we did before, and they just never take off. Because I always figure anybody who wants a wax jacket would just wax their jacket.
I don't know. Waxing a jacket is a lot harder than I thought
Right.
it would be, to be honest.
That is true.
I think that we haven't been doing the right wax, like the right fabric. I think we could make something that is really cool if we just do it in the right way. I think we just haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah.
And we have talked about it since then too. It's just like, it's either like, not in stock or like just, whatever, like it never worked out. But sometimes I do find, in my pile of amazing fabric library, it does have like some things that I think we could make, especially with like short coat or, something like that. It just would look great with denim, not necessarily that being the denim, or like even if it's denim, like it's not like, something that would be like good in pants.
Yeah. I just think that a lot of people's impression of waxed clothing is like that barber jacket, right? And aside from that, I think it's a hard sell, right? The black wax stretch is basically leather pants. Like, I don't think anyone's like, oh, I want like the properties of wax.
Yeah, that's very shiny,
right?
Too. Yeah.
For these jeans, they're like, I want shiny pants that look like leather. I want to be like a fashion jean, right? Whereas an indigo wax jean or an indigo wax jacket, I don't know how everyday that is for a lot of people. Because even like a wax barber jacket, like that's your rainy day jacket. You know what I mean? Or like a fall, gloomy kind of day jacket.
Jacket could be everyday thing. I don't think pants could be everyday thing.
Right. Yeah. Cathedral ring, wax parkas are on point. Barber and CP company, etc. do it right. Yeah, I mean, it's iconic for them. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, definitely. There's a point to like them being the master of it, and why would we like just we can't compete with that. But at the same time, I think down the line we should try it again.
Daniel Child makes the point: waxed, tan, duck canvas, or olive, not denim. IMO.
Yeah, right? Those are the fabrics that looks the best and perfect as a jacket, because a lot of you are wearing jeans at the bottom.
Yeah, if you wear like a tan wax like denim jacket, right?
I have fabric.
All right. Good. What's the best way to figure out belt size? Nicholas Vipulu writes, Vilpu. Whatever your jean size is that you're wearing. So if you're wearing a size 32 jean, get the 34 belt. That's really it.
Yeah.
Just get the next size up.
If you're 33, you should still get 34.
You can get either way. You can get 34 or 36. If you get the 34, you'll probably be on the first two holes. If you get the 36, you'll probably be on the last two holes. But if you're like most guys, you will grow into it.
Yeah.
So
you need the extra anyways.
Yeah,
if you're on the last the first hole, like you're just
if you're on the first hole, it's too small.
Shit, I can't eat a lot today.
I have some belts, like fancy designer belts from when I was a skinny boy, and like I remember we sold them recently just because like they were god awful.
At least one of them.
I had like this Dolce & Gabbana belt with like this giant oval buckle on it, and I was so proud. I'm like, see, I got this one because it didn't have the logo on it. And like you had to know, if you knew Dolce & Gabbana, you knew this is Dolce & Gabbana belt. But like I didn't get the one that said D&G on it or whatever. And it, like the leather was like this thick. It was ridiculous. It looked like I was straight out of a disco, right? And but at the time, I probably that's definitely what I was going for.
And at the time, it wasn't like what it is today.
Yeah.
Like looking at the same design.
Yeah.
At different times.
So I had that belt, and it when we moved to Japan, like it was just part of all the stuff that I had, and I looked at it and I'm like, how did I ever fit this belt? Like I couldn't even get it on the first hole, and I mean I was an adult when I owned that, but man, I've grown a lot in the last decade. BD, I have a thick veg tan belt a buddy makes, and depending on the jean fabric, I go between two holes. Right. Somebody mentioned
or the time of the day.
Yeah. Right, or the time of day. Venomous Teddy, speaking of belts, you guys have great belts. We do have great belts, and I think our prices are very good.
Very good. Yeah.
I mean the thick veg tan ones, like those will last forever.
Yeah. Those are very significant.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just feels so expensive too.
Yeah.
It's
not so bad. And then the thinner buffalo ones, the leather is just really nice.
Yeah.
I realized that we don't actually have a regular belt, like the thick ones are thick.
Yeah.
And then the buffalo ones are skinny.
Yeah.
Like, but like we don't actually make a normal belt for anybody.
I mean, I would think buffalo is pretty normal. It is, I guess, on the skinnier side. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, that's that. If you own one of our thick belts, you definitely know what I'm talking about when it comes to like lasting forever. That thing is a beast. And one of my best faded belts, well, my best faded veg tan belt also does not fit me anymore. I think it's in the Tatsune Yoko showroom somewhere. You know what? I'm gonna go double check. I might have it here. It's but there's no way it would fit.
There's one that's hanging in the showroom. That looks great.
It might be mine. Anyways, I'm gonna go see if I got it here.
Oh, okay.
I might have one here.
All right. Let's look at some comments then. See. Austin writes, next glow or shiny denim. I don't think we're doing any shinies as far as I remember. I mean, we're also not doing like glow in the dark or anything like that. Yeah, those are just not in the plan. Not sure what you mean by glow. I'm guessing it means glow in the dark. Let's see. Oh, he says proud owner of reflective pants from Indonesia. Reflective pants was pretty fun. It was very cool, like because we shot some like videos of a skateboarder like skating at night and just like their pants like glowing, and it was such a cool thing. It's just that right now we have nothing that's like out there like that. And
there might be some reflective in stock.
Right. Yeah.
But
no new development in terms of like shiny or glowing.
Right. Not at the moment. I found a belt. It's not the belt. It's not the Naked Famous Veg Tan belt, but it's one of those belts from my younger years. This D squared belt. It's keeping me hot. Remember, this era of D squared was crazy because it was all very very glamorous. It still is, but I just like that they used to put like Canada stuff on everything. And I mean, there's just no way this belt would ever fit me anymore.
I don't know. It looks like it would fit.
I don't know. I probably wore this on the second hole, and like that's me right now. Like if I really suck it in, I could maybe get it on the first hole. But like, anyways, this is Bahzad today. I used to probably fit it over here. So but yeah, they used to remember when big novelty buckles were a thing. This was very popular in like the early 2000s.
Yes.
How many of you guys had big giant novelty buckles? I definitely owned a lot of belts like this.
Very flashy.
Very flashy.
Yeah.
They don't like. I haven't seen a big buckle like this in a long time.
You know how like a lot of the times like people say like, oh, the like economic state of the world reflects like the fashion trends and stuff like that. And if that's the case, like we're just living in like weird world where like majority, like mainstream, is so minimal. Like it's
Yeah.
just and then it just like we have this very extreme.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like at this era, like high fashion was doing this, and like
Yeah.
you can also go to the mall and buy a big buckle with like
Yeah,
something on
everybody
it.
was
Yeah.
on a similar page of like being a little bit of flashier, like loud side.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just I don't know. A lot of
But
people just wear not so interesting
yeah,
clothes.
Venomous Teddy. I had a big WWE belt buckle, the John Cena spinner one, the John Cena spinner belt. Remember that belt? That was a funny belt. Invis Ian's. I had a few Diesel big buckle belts. Have to admit, I owned a few of those too. Don't worry, we were definitely in the same club there. Philip Edzak. I still use big buckles on my leather belts, kind of like belts. Kubota 1994 conference and one from Philmont, a Boy Scout camp. Interesting. Interesting. Are they're like graphic buckles, or like sometimes they're just big regular
hardware,
big hardware buckles. But these ones, like, there was just slogan buckles everywhere. Tied in Selvedge, Bahzad Buckle Boy. Bahzad Buckle Boy. I was definitely a Bahzad Buckle Boy for a while. But it was so popular. Bahzad, Big Money has a buckle being from Texas. They said, "Oh, Big Money, Big Money, Austin." That's right. Any cool dyes coming up? I read about eucalyptus being used as a dye. Fresh bird selvage or koala selvage. LOL. Fresh bird. You know what I'm thinking. Fresh bird selvage.
Koala selvage sounds very cute.
Yeah. We're always looking into new dyes. Like during our fall winter 23 development ideas, there are some dye ideas in there. I'm not gonna say what, because if it doesn't happen,
yeah, we don't want to
I don't want to disappoint anybody. But more natural dyes are on the menu, so we're always looking for new stuff. Again, part of our reference materials, we've got natural dye books and things like that we go through. We're always looking for cool stuff, and hopefully we're going to be able to bring you some more interesting and fun natural dyes that have not been used for denim before. Tiger Vessel, always enjoy your weekly sessions. I'm from Malaysia, and I wish it was easier to get my hands on some of your jeans, but nonetheless, like I said, I enjoy your channel and content. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it can be a little, depending on where you are, it can be a little bit more difficult to get our products. Of course, I always say, ask your local retailers. So if there's a local retailer, especially denim retailers that carry similar products, let them know that you're interested in ours. Because the more that they know that they have a customer base for that product, the chances of them bringing our product line in becomes higher. And also, there's always Tate and Yoko. So Tate and Yoko, we ship internationally. We make it easy. You're going to get that package. Though I know that there are some places in the world where your customs officers are D-bags. And
yeah, is Malaysia one of them?
I think
maybe.
I think parts of Southeast Asia, the customs officers like to hold your items until you give them their little bit of there's taxes and duties, and then there's the little service fee that you got to pay to get your stuff. So
not the official tax and duties.
Yeah. So I understand that happens. And if you have to go through that, I definitely feel for you. And if you have to go through that for our stuff, I certainly appreciate you going to that length to get our products. But we do ship internationally with Tate and Yoko, and we can at least get it into your country. To your door, that's your own. Yeah, talk to your customs guys about that. Okay, Cathedral Ring, the one with LED messages only.
I was just thinking about
Oh my god, I had friends with those belts.
I'm sure you did.
They were kind of interesting, like...
Yeah.
Because it felt like, like... Which Daft Punk video was it with the light-up helmet? And, like, it just felt like that, kind of, in a way.
Yeah,
but it
then
was also
it's like-
D-bags wearing them, you know? Like, there was a
Yeah.
big D-bag culture
Yeah.
at that time.
You know, that it reminds me of that, like, Parks and Rec.
Uh-huh.
The
John Ralphio?
No, Aziz Ansari was wearing like, oh, I can put like
Oh,
any
right.
messages
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
want.
yeah.
It's totally the
Yeah.
people who were wearing.
Yeah, right. There was that. Yeah, it was a funny time, that era.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
interesting. But yeah, I didn't partake in all of the fashion, but I certainly, some of it I look back, I'm like, wow, that was, when I was there, I was like, that was stupid. But looking back on it, obviously you look back on things a little bit differently than when you were there, and you're like, you know, it might have not been for me, but I can appreciate
It's interesting.
and you know,
yeah.
find it interesting, yeah, what was going on back then. Okay, BD, with the reminder, it's a good time to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I said earlier in the chat that I fixed our little subscribe notification, but we haven't a new subscriber yet.
Oh, did we miss it?
Or we missed it. It's one or the other, or it's not fixed.
Yeah.
But if you are subscribing, hit the subscribe button. Let's see if that little notification works, and let me know in the chat if it doesn't show up, or I'm just embarrassing myself and nobody's subscribing to our live stream while we're on. You're all subscribers, which is good, which is correct. But anyways,
everybody's a little anxious about the previews.
Previews. Well, we've got a couple previews today. They're going to be coming up very shortly. We've got Elephant 11. We got the Firebird Selvedge, so bird stuff, and the Hiba Scratch-n-Sniff. So we're going to show off 3 jeans today. So stick around. We're going to do that in just a minute. Decibels. I can unsubscribe in order to resubscribe. Give it a try. Let's see if it works. I was convinced Von Dutch meant I'm a douche. Yeah.
Von Dutch.
Yeah,
Man.
Von Dutch and Ed Hardy and Christian Audigier. Big brands.
Von Dutch was huge in Japan. Like Ed Hardy.
Von
Not
Dutch
so much.
was huge in North America. Huge.
Yeah.
Like it was everywhere. It was crazy. I wonder what happened to all those hats and all those bags. I like all the girls had Von Dutch like purses that looked like bowling ball bags. Remember that? Those were so popular, and I'm not sure what Von Dutch was, but Ed Hardy was a tattoo artist.
Right.
So I get
Ed
that.
Hardy was like you know, like it was just so iconic. Like, you know, it was nothing like it, and it was also like, you know, even if you don't like it, it's just like you can appreciate it as its own like world. Whereas Von Dutch, I don't know.
Yeah. Von Dutch seemed to disappear when Ed Hardy showed up. Ed Hardy showed up, and it was just like, okay, that's the new thing, and like it was certainly a certain demographic that wore it.
That still wears it. Like Ed Hardy's like
Yeah,
still in the wild.
Yeah,
Which is incredible.
I guess it's more of like a Miami Beach, you know, if you're into the club scene and like a certain type of club scene.
But it's not like you don't see it like for a while. Like you see it constantly.
Oh, I really don't see it that much. Mike Wright writes those tap out shirts, tap out affliction. Like it was very much like very bro-y, Jersey Shore. Yeah, I never got into any of that at all. But I certainly had friends who were into it. You know, they hit the clubs a lot. They love the club. Did you ever see Ed Hardy boys on the Kroll show? Worth a Google. I'll have to check that out, Chris Node. Ed Hardy was a very misunderstood artist. There's some nice documentary videos about his tattooing on YouTube. I've seen them, and then, like the tattooing is incredible. But yeah, I mean the clothing line is a different world in itself. I mean it was, you know, I'm sure tattoos certainly was part of, you know, the lifestyle in a way, but I think it, you know, the bro culture, the, you know, Tidy and Selvedge, Tan Laundry Gym, I think it was GTL, Tan Laundry, the Jersey Shore lifestyle it wasn't for everyone. And I think, some people lived it and loved it and enjoyed it a lot. Some people kind of looked down on it. I find it interesting. I've caught a few episodes of they still do that show. Yeah, and they're all adults, and they all seem like, they've had their trials and tribulations, but they all seem like regular humans, which all of my friends who live that life also are now like accountants and like, architects and like, whatever it is. And it's just like, yeah, everyone just kind of balances out at some point. It's kind of fun to like, cause I think a lot of the shock of that show is like, look at these losers, like, and they're living this crazy. I always watch that show. I'm like, wow, these guys are having fun. Like,
I do think that there was
a shock factor of that show.
As like I watched the grown up version of that show, like I realized that it's like it wasn't that like it wasn't anybody who were living that lifestyle could have been on that show and be so popular. No, it was just like those people were actually like
charismatic and
likable to a certain degree or hateable. Like it just like. They have personalities where it's like, okay, like I understand these are just, it wasn't just that. It wasn't just that crazy that it was, or maybe they learned from that experience, but they're kind of,
right. It was of the time, certainly. And I mean, if you were growing up and you were in,
I got it.
We got it, but I didn't see it.
Oh, let's see it.
Decibels. All right, Decibels. You subscribed. Thank you for resubscribing to the channel. The notification works.
It does work.
It does work. We're just not getting new subscribers. Yeah. So now that you know it works and you haven't subscribed, that's the little gift that you'll get in the chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Jersey Shore lifestyle. I think. Anyways, when it comes to graphics and very kind of flashy things that if you watch old episodes, it's kind of a very good screen capture of the time. That's what was very, very popular. It certainly was very mainstream for it to be on like an MTV show. So yeah. I don't know how we got on this trend. I guess we were talking about Ed Hardy and graphics and things like that. Early 2000s fashion trends. But yeah, I guess we don't really like every trend, it never dies, right? Like it always, there are people who still are in like, flashy t-shirts with crystals and all that kind of stuff. They still do it. And like, if they're in their own world, it just, as even like later on in, the late 2000s, early 2010s, workwear was very like mainstream. And I saw on Reddit, I was looking at Reddit the other day, and somebody made a comment about, the heyday of heritage wear was like that time. I'm like, and to me, I'm like, maybe in the mainstream, but the heyday for those who are still in it, and I'm sure for all the brands that are still around doing it, is right now. Because like, I'm sure everybody's sales have increased, and it was for us, I guess we're a niche that continues to grow. We don't have that that super mainstream appeal, but everybody knows a guy who is the dark indigo jeans, boots, and flannel. Like, it doesn't matter where you live, there's always that person, right? It's just what was the term, lumbersexual? Or we called everything. You were a metrosexual, and there's all these weird terms going around. The lumbersexual was a very mainstream, and like everybody was doing it. And then like there's people who are like, not for me. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna commit to this all the way. Some of it I'll keep, in my I like wearing clean dark jeans. I'm just gonna not have to wear a flannel shirt and heavy boots every day.
Yeah,
fine, no problem. But as far as like the types of products that we make and we sell, our business continues to grow. I'm sure other people's businesses are continuing to grow as well. We haven't gone anywhere. It's just like, that niche is just...
Yeah, there are always like people who just moves around from, style to style. There's, or some people get stuck at some point and then you don't move. It's just like demographics always change, but there are definitely communities based off of the type of clothing they wear.
Right.
For sure.
So, Yeah, after that, everything became normcore,
Yes.
which was a weird fashion trend. Because I remember somebody explaining it to me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, the name is perfect,
Yeah.
normcore.
But it's like normcore, like yeah, it was like a thing where everybody was talking about, but like now I'm looking at it and it's like it wasn't really a trend because it's still going. Like it's
Yeah,
it's not like a hype where it went up and then down. Like I
yeah.
don't think that it's going down. It just kind of
I just feel like
flattened.
it's like I feel like some of the normcore guys just went from it's some of it just went to like baggy pastel clothing.
And it's also very hard to point fingers
Yeah,
at normcore.
yeah.
Also, it wasn't like something instantly recognizable. You could just be wearing your dad's clothes, or
Right.
you're trying to be the
Right.
trendy guy.
It's very difficult to point that
Yeah.
one out. Yeah, that's true. And like, is it purposeful or is it just
Yeah,
you're
just
wearing
who you
normal
are.
stuff? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be an interesting study. Um, once in a while you'll see an old guy dressed like that, and it's like he's not norm-coring it up. He's just normal, you know. He's just a regular guy. But yeah, that was such an odd trend, and I'm like, oh, okay. So you just want to look like you're dressed like from Seinfeld.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah, exactly.
You're just Jerry, which is fine. You know what I thought was interesting? I remember hearing an interview with Jerry, and he's talking about like the fashion of Seinfeld, and that the aim was for it to kind of be timeless, and in a way, it kind of is. Like if you watch it, you're like, yeah, that could still work, right? And like as like these are normal people. Whereas like you watch Jersey Shore, like that's that's not norm. It's not like you know.
Yeah, you can point like that's from the age. I think the only thing about Seinfeld where you can actually date them is the hair. Yeah, hair is just you can't. Yeah. That wasn't timeless.
Or lack of hair, George. Sorry, George.
That's timeless. I have to say.
But no, I was saying that he doesn't have a haircut. Like certain '80s hairs are '80s hairs, but like being bald,
that's timeless.
Yeah, correct. But yeah, sometimes you'll see like VHS tapes in the background or like the old Mac in the back.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can't help
that. I Wallen. Okay, but most of Kramer's outfits went crazy. Most of Kramer's outfits are the expensive outfits right now. Like if you look at all the high end fashion design like stuff, it's all Kramer outfits.
It's like Gucci all the way.
It's really interesting. How like Aloha shirts and that type of like 70s style.
Yeah, and the color palette, very brown.
It is all the high end stuff right now. It's nuts. Okay. Oh wait. I'm getting normcore confused with gorpcore. Gorpcore, I think is like is that the Gore-Tex people?
Oh, yeah. Is it gorpcore?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There's the people who are like
different though. It's more technical.
Yeah, it's all technical work. Yeah. I think that's what we're talking about. Or is that gorecore? I don't even know anymore. There's too many cores. Somebody's mentioned. Brainstar. There's a lot, but I think that's the. I'm. It's all like technical.
Yeah, like
garments.
I'm fine living outside.
I'm ready for a hike.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Just point me to the nearest, trail. Venomous Teddy Gorp equals good old raisins and peanuts.
Are you kidding? I don't get it.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Hikey and outdoorsy aesthetic. Okay. Oh, I get it. Like, because that's like trail mix.
Oh, I see, I see. So it is kind of like Gore-Tex people. Is it the same?
Yeah, I think there's the Gore-Tex people, and then there's like maybe like they look like they're going camping.
Right.
There's a little bit of a difference there.
Oh,
like in Japan right now, like camping stuff is still very popular. So there's like just trends of like basically I'm wearing a camping outfit. Like I'm ready to go.
Outfit. Yeah. But they don't really wear a lot of like flannel shirts or anything like that. They wear like solid, like very nylon-y items. Yeah. I don't know if like when you say camping, maybe like I kind of think of like flannels and like
they're wearing like vests and I wish I had I gotta set it up where I can click on a browser, and then we can browse the internet for these things together. I will. Bahzad, can you show off your jacket? This is the work shirt. We'll get a good look at it here from Fall Winter 22 coming out. This is the that Coca-Cola Repro fabric. So it's a herringbone with this green pinstripe reproduction of a 1950s era Coca-Cola uniform fabric. Very very nice. I like this one a lot. Coming out in this work shirt.
Work pants.
The work pants. Did we do a short coat? I don't think so. Yeah. Okay. Let's do some previews.
Yeah.
So we've got some right there. Let's start off with those guys right here. So we got the Firebird Selvedge. This is our slubby Selvedge option coming for this fall. So let's just go over all the details. Firebird. Why is it not showing up? There we go. Firebird Selvedge. So this denim is 15.5 ounces. Quite slubby. Now, this isn't quite as 3D textured as like an Okayama Spirit. I would say that it's a little bit more of a
flat.
Yeah, it's
but flamey.
Flat and flamey. I would say if you have ever experienced our Chinese New Year denim, this would be a heavier version of that. So
more.
Yeah. So you get a little, you get that flaminess on the vertical aspect, but not so much of it on the the 3D-ness of it. So it feels nice and classic, but you're gonna get that flamey fade. I think it's gonna look really cool. Definitely will perform well for if you're involved in a fading contest or something like that. You expect extreme fading with this. Thick buffalo leather patch, the copper hardware, and then you have the red line Selvedge ID. And if you can see you'll see it here on the inside.
This is like you're not hardcore. It's not super hardcore, but it is definitely a step into
up.
The hardcore than like our regular.
Yeah, and you can see just how loose the weave of the twill is here. You can see how hopefully it's focusing weirdly, but you can see it's not uniform at all. So that's what's helping to give this denim its crazy kind of flamey look in combination with the slub yarns that we're using. Now it gets flattened out like this because of the sanforization. So the sanforization really took the texture down to give us that uniform texture. It'll probably plump up a little bit after washing. But yeah, Risa really nailed it on the head. This is like, if you've been wearing left-hand twill, dirty fade, natural indigo, that type of fabric, and you want to go up, but you don't want to have sandpaper, this is definitely the way to go. So you get the look of it without the feel of it. Lovely patch mid-core. Is it unsanforized? No, this is very sanforized. So the sanforization process, it goes through hot rollers and it flattens the fabric. So this is nice and uniform texture. Tidy and Selvedge. Caca with the Firebird. Yeah, caca. Same base as the raw cotton slub. No. This is not the same base.
Yeah,
this is
raw cotton slub
is
much
way more textured.
Yeah,
way
3D.
More 3D happening. Cathedral ring scratch test. We got the scratch. Okay, we're gonna do it. Okay, everyone, quiet. Fabric going. Shh. All right. What did you guys think? Was that raw enough for you? Let me know in the comment section below. Right.
All right.
Back to regular scheduled voicing. All right, I'm in Cathedral Ring show. Firebird is fire. I think it's gonna be a popular one.
Yeah.
This is a great fader.
Also, we don't make that much 15, 16 ounce so often, so I think this is a good one because it's really definitely heavier, but not impossible heavy.
Right. It's elevated in every little way, right? So if you're going from a classic, this is just that. It's that next step in the evolution of maybe your raw denim journey. It's also, I mean, I would say that it's also a good first pair. Not everybody has to start at left hand twill, right? Or indigo selvage. You can get in, like, because I like, you go online, you're seeing all these faded photos, you're seeing slubby denim, but like maybe some of that's a little intimidating for you, right? You're like, I need to be able to wear it every day. I don't want like these nubs and neps to be like, so faded that I can't wear these, to everywhere where I need to be able to wear like clean dark jeans. These ones you certainly can, right? So,
I really like how the collar came out too. The stitching and the denim and then the leather patch. It's just very nice color thing.
Nicely put together.
Yeah.
That was so raw. I need it blurred out. All right. Need a not safe for work warning before late night Bahzad voice shows up. All right. Yeah. This is So let's do Hiba Scratch-n-Sniff. Which we will have to do a scratch test on this one. So Hiba Scratch-n-Sniff. So let's just compare the texture so you can see. Like, this is a lot more classic in texture, as you can see, compared to this one. This one's quite flamey. This one a little bit. It has it there, but this one's obviously very much more noticeable. Indigo is not quite as deep as the Firebird as well, but it does have its own little secret. Again, a great dark indigo for classic occasions, any occasion. This is the classic look. Veg tan leather patch. It's not our super thick one. We actually have two. We have the 10 ounce, which can sometimes go to 12 ounces. This is the 5 ounce veg tan leather patch, so it's a little bit thinner. You don't want to have that super thick leather patch on a regular weight jean. Weight wise, I think these are 12 and a half ounces. I'm just gonna double check that right now. Hiba Scratch-n-Sniff, 12.7 ounces. So that's a usually it's like 12.5 or 12. So even numbers, but anyways, 12.7 ounces. So in the realm of regular weight. Dark indigo, contrast stitching, white weft. Check out that Selvedge. Classic red line, and then of course the fun feature of this jean. So for those people who don't know, we've done a few Scratch-n-Sniff denims over the years. We're known for some of our wilder options.
Yeah. I think the first Scratch-n-Sniff definitely put Naked and Famous on the map in a certain way.
Yeah.
Because it just it's like ridiculous.
Yeah,
like
who does this? Yeah, and then like who takes like a Selvedge denim and makes a Scratch-n-Sniff?
Yeah,
we do. So Hiba is a type of Japanese cypress tree. I would say it's closely related to like onsen kind of.
Yeah, it's similar to I don't know.
Hinoki.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's different varieties.
Family,
yeah. But like Japanese, like onsen, there's a lot of these types of trees around, and like often when you go, like there's just a lot of woody and like natural scents. So this is derived from that culture, and here in Japan, there's just a lot of like fancy room scents that are derived from Hiba, and I love this smell. So we thought we have to do this. So obviously this is not going to show up on the microphone because you're not going to be able to smell this beautiful smell until you get a pair. But I'm going to do the scratch test anyway. All right, so everybody, calm down, relax, and listening to the smooth sounds of raw denim. Calming.
Very calming.
Yeah.
I use Hiba oil like next to my bed because when I go to bed, I want to smell this smell. It is that kind of smell.
Yeah.
Just
It's relaxing. It's warming. This is a great party trick for you and your friends, and it's just a really neat jean. Like,
and this isn't like raspberry because raspberry was great. It's fun.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a little, like I wouldn't say childish, but it's like, fun.
Yeah.
This is more like adult.
This is
a
like, very adult
You want to
smell
like this.
Yeah. So I would say like you'll get like, a good, I don't know, at least 5 washes out of these before maybe the scent starts to go away a little bit. Now, it's not forever, but you still end up with a fun pair of jeans once that scent goes away. It basically what we do is we take micro scent capsules, and that gets sprayed onto the denim, and then there's a heat process that basically bakes it in. And when you scratch the fabric, those capsules break, releasing the scent. So obviously, the more you scratch it, the more the scent will be used up.
And
but
if you keep scratching the same spot, like your knee or whatever, then like the capsules there would go first, so you're not gonna smell it anymore. You're gonna try it on other places.
Right. So if you want to smell sophisticated, you get the Hiba Scratch-n-Sniff denim. So that's it. I can't wait for the blanket lined Kimono Shirt. That's another fun one coming out this season. So a Rice W5, is it anything like pine resin? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what pine resin smells like. If you're asking me if it smells like pine sol, it does not. It does not. All right, let's bring out the big boy. The big boy. The heavy boy. So this is Elephant 11 Grandrelle, super dark indigo, as you can see. Let's do a little comparison here. We've got here. That's the Hiba, that's the Elephant, and that's the Firebird. Obviously, so you can see it's quite dark, quite dark, and that's because it's not just a regular indigo by white denim. This denim is a mix of indigo by white and indigo by black. So what we would call a midnight denim. And that's because the yarns on the inside are made with, the inside yarns are something called Grandrelle yarn. So this is a yarn that is made up of 2 different colors. So 2 different colors of cotton are spun together to make this yarn, to give it this kind of ununiform color. And when you weave with it, you get this kind of beautiful staticky kind of look. It definitely looks like television static. All right, Risa's going to pull out some weft yarn so you can see. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. So that's what a Grandrelle yarn looks like. You can see, great. You can see it there. It's 2 yarns spun together. So I can pull it apart. You can see that. So there's the white cotton and then there's the black cotton. 2 together, and then they get spun like that. So that's how this yarn is made. And so you get the benefits of an indigo by black and an indigo by white at the same time. So it's not all the way midnight like, an indigo by black denim would be. You still see some of that white showing through the front face of the fabric. You got the big slub construction, so you've got, different amounts of indigo penetration in these yarns. So you get like these darker spots and these lighter spots. So it's a lot of mix of a lot of things going on to make one really, really cool jean. This also has the thicker Veg 10 leather patch. So that's the 10 ounce, the big boy, the thick boy. You can see the comparison here. Hopefully you can see it. Right? And one's a regular cheeseburger. That's the Big Mac right there. That's the big boy. Steel hardware, Grandrelle, Redline, Selvedge ID. We showed that off. And let's go for the scratch test. All right, Midnight Radio voice.
Now, can you tell a difference between 12 or 13, 15 and a half?
Yeah.
20 ounce.
20 ounce. So here we go. I think you can tell the difference.
It's a lot bassier, like a lot deeper.
Yeah. So I go both horizontal and vertical.
Yeah, it's like a higher
Mhm.
pitch. Tone. Yeah. Okay. I see your point.
Oh,
You can almost hear my nail like
on the slab.
like getting caught in the like
Yeah.
big.
Geez, that does sound hefty. Geez, that's some hefty scratching. Yeah, so it works. You can tell. You can hear the difference in the
Mhm.
weight. So that's it.
Alright.
That's the Grandrelle. I hope you guys like those previews. These are going to be coming out this fall. A lot more stuff is going to be announced. Releases are going to be announced soon. We've just got a lot of inventory coming in the next couple of weeks, and stay tuned. You know, obviously, stay tuned to this channel. Stay tuned to our Instagram and our email blast. We put out all kinds of information, a bunch of different ways. So when it comes to releases, you'll definitely know about it here first. But in case you can't watch the entire live stream, just follow our other social media things. I heard it on the Firebird, but I felt that deep down in my plums. Cathedral ring. That's it. How you gonna feel it? All right. Let's move on to the next chapter of this live stream. Okay, wait. Juan Mesa, one more thing. Can we get an update on the 40 ounce? Same update as everything else that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that keeps getting pushed back because other things are taking precedent over it. We have the fabric. We have the machines. We don't have the manpower to do it because we're busy getting other production out. You know, for us, it's more important to get 1,000 pairs of elephant jeans out than it is to get 20 pairs of 40 ounce out. And the 40 ounce takes as much time. It takes so much time to make one. It's like a day to make one of those pairs. And like you pull a person, like the one, we might have more than one person in the factory that can do it, but like you have to take your best, most talented person off of doing everything else that they need to be doing to do it, and it's very time consuming. So when we have time in the schedule, then it's gonna happen. But as we're playing a lot of catch up from a lot of this, COVID stuff that's happened, it's really delayed that one a lot. So yeah. Can you remind me the colors of the Giorno and Josuke denim? So Giorno is going to be indigo by pink or purple, yeah, purple pinkish, and Josuke will be indigo by black, so like a midnight denim. So there you have it. Okay, we get to the last bit of the live stream. No movie suggestion this week because we woke up too late to really give that one a lot of thought. But earlier this week, we did find a very, very interesting snack for snack time. A weird one for some people. I think it'd be weird for a lot of people.
I've never seen this before. Yeah. And it's weird that I've never seen this before, I have to say.
Okay.
This is curry in a can.
As a drink.
As a drink. It's a drink.
Yeah. So this is Indian curry, or Japanese Indian curry.
Yeah.
Canned as something you drink.
Yeah.
Like, so there are soups that you can get like this in Japan, like corn soup or onion soup.
Onion soup, miso soup.
Yeah.
Like things like that are available in vending machines hot out of a can.
Yeah.
And that's been, like, as far as I remember, those corn soups are there in vending machines.
It's great. Like on a cold day. And you just need like a little, like the hot canned things in Japan are so useful. You can buy them in the convenience store also. But like if it's cold and you just need something warm to warm you up, you buy a can of corn soup. Yeah. It's warm in your hands. It warms your body. You feel wonderful.
Yeah. And sometimes you're not in the mood for coffee or tea. You just feel like, oh, you know what? I'm a little hungry. I just want some saltiness in there. And so that I'm a big fan of canned soup, and this has never been done before, as far as I know. Which is, they have like oden soup, like the little broth of like things in cans, but they never do curry, which is so
Yeah.
weird.
Because this is a very curry-loving
Yeah.
country.
And then also here says that like it's good, like it goes well with your lunch, basically, like your onigiri,
Yeah.
your bread.
Yeah.
Like it's a meal.
It's a little side dish
Yeah.
for your lunch.
Okay.
So
This can is not warm because
we bought it a couple days ago.
yeah.
But it also wasn't in the warm section when we bought it.
Yeah, and I think you're supposed to. This would be great in vending machines, but if you're at home drinking it, you're supposed to put it in a thing and then warm it up, microwave it or something. Because obviously you can't microwave a can.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's okay because I want to drink it out of a can.
Yeah. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna give it a shot.
I've never had it.
Yeah.
Curry out of a can.
Junior, I watched The Last House on the Left that you recommended a few weeks ago. That movie was disturbing and great. Glad you watched it. But yeah, very disturbing.
So it's a big opening.
Okay.
And then, it smells like curry. But it's a lot waterier than
Yeah.
than
It's
regular
very
curry.
soupy.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get it. So you can see it right there.
Yeah.
So you take the first. It says curry soup here on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
On the inside of the can.
I mean, if it's goopy, you can't really drink it out of
It might be hard to see, but it's just along here. It says curry soup. There you go. Curry soup. Give that a shot.
Oh, yeah. It's got the spice. It's not spicy, but it's got that curry spice taste. And it's definitely going to be better if it's warmer, but it's pretty delicious as is. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it definitely has like.
Yeah.
It's very good. It has definitely like curry spicy taste. It's creamy. This is a nice.
Like if you're having lunch like at work or like at a park or something, like this is a great companion to the meal because it is definitely soup, and it is a curry flavored soup, and it just adds to the it's gonna make the meal complete. Really,
it really does. Anyways, that there you have it, guys. That is curry soup in a can.
I don't think there's any like bits in here. Like corn soup usually have
like actual corn. The onion soup has some onion. Yeah. This is just straight up liquid.
Yeah.
Is it smooth or chunky? It's all smooth. Lid opening ASMR is as good as hand scratching. All right, you got it. So yeah, I thought it was neat. Thought it was a cool product, and of course, if you don't finish your soup, just save it for later.
And I'm impressed that it's delicious when it's not warm.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of food in this country designed for people on the go. So just quick and good, convenient, meals. Now I don't know how healthy this is. It says 27 calories.
Per 100 grams.
Per 100 grams, and this is probably 100 milliliters, I would imagine. 170. So not very many calories in there at all.
Soup. It's not very oily either. Like
better when warm or hot. It'll probably be better when warm or hot. But it's totally drinkable, eatable in this form. So there you have it. When you guys come to Japan, enjoy some.
Unless they get rid of it. Sometimes they come up with a great idea and they just take it away from us.
Yeah, that's true. Who knows how long this will last. But at the very least, the corn soup, the onion soup, those will definitely be in the vending machines. If you come here in the winter, you'll definitely find them in the vending machines. And
the other day, I saw this Viscors, it's the cold potato soup.
Okay.
It's meant for cold consumption. I saw that in a cold vending machine during the summer. So now they're doing soup, not
cold,
in the winter.
They're very good at that. And so, anyways, come to Japan, enjoy the many delights that you can find. Some of them will be just as simple as a 98 yen can of soup. So that's for you Americans, that's like 75 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you have it. All right, we're gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
Everybody, Thank you so much for tuning in to another one of our weekly live streams here on the YouTube, on the internet. Subscribe to our channel. I know you want to. If you haven't done it already, I think we definitely have convinced you by now. So please go ahead and do that. I will wait.
You know, one
All
comment
right.
that I like.
What's that?
That take a shot every time Bahzad says "big boy."
Big boy. Really?
You
Do I say that a lot?
You did say that a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't
Could
know I
make
said
a
that a
good
lot.
drinking game.
All right, everybody. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. Have a good weekend. Wear your jeans, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. What kind of jeans are you wearing, and what jeans do you think would go best with curry soup in a can? That's a fun one.
Turmeric.
Turmeric dye. That's the actual answer. All right. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.